Right, I'm just testing.
My voice is coming from the left side of the speaker, and mine from the right.
Bop-a-doop-bop-beep.
Sabambone.
Wabba-dabba-dabba-dip-bam-boom.
Sabadooba-day, the sabadooba-day, the zabambone. Abadoozy. Any honey ho. All above, do above.
Hey.
Round.
Get mad, baby.
All aboard a bit with the zoom. All aboard a bit with the doodle bada 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 doodle.
Enough. That's the intro.
Hello and welcome to Podcast Recast, the podcast where we
recast your favourite movies as if they were being cast today.
The rules are very simple. You cannot recast anyone from the original film.
Rule number 2, we each get a time machine card which lets us bring back from the dead or make older or younger any actor to fit the role.
And rule number 3, you are not allowed to cast Andy Serkis.
Because that would just be unfair for every other actor in the world. Because, well, let's just face it. It's Andy Serkis, you know.
Yeah, everyone's complaining about Leo and his Oscar.
Where's Andy's Oscar?
Where's Andy's Oscar?
Well,
where's his nomination?
He doesn't need it. It's almost, it would almost be insulting to give him an Oscar because it's beneath him at this point. I mean, him and his motion capture suit, there's just really nothing he can't do. So
I think they should, one year they should have the Oscars and just melt all the Oscars together into one giant one.
Statue of Andy Serkis.
Give it to Andy Serkis. Yeah. Boom. Sorted.
That's it.
Everything.
Last Oscar ever. Right. So today, ladies and gents, we are doing on request, actually, on our first request.
Our first request.
From emailer, what's his name? Ross Jones from Gibraltar has requested we do Pirates of the Caribbean, and we were like, damn, that's a good suggestion.
That's a good choice. Great choice.
Yes. So, thanks, Ross. We're doing Pirates of the Caribbean. Here we go.
I love the soundtrack, but that's the quintessential. That's the one everyone thinks of. But I personally feel there are better tracks on there.
Yeah, whenever I hear that main track, I just get goosebumps every time.
Yeah.
That's just super adventure. Right, who are we casting today, Ali?
Well, we're going to be casting, obviously, from Pirates. What does everyone think of? They think of Will Turner, don't they?
Yeah.
We're casting Will Turner, Jack, Barbosa, Elizabeth, Norrington, Davy Jones, and Rigetti and Pintel.
The moron, bumbling fool pirate pair. So, I think we should start with Will. I think we leave Jack till last.
I think leave Jack till last.
Yeah.
I've got a real soft spot in my heart for Pirates of the Caribbean. For not even. I mean the trilogy.
Really?
And it's a bit controversial because
It is. I won't follow you down that route. I will say for the first movie, certainly. It's one of the movies that made me want to go into filmmaking.
Best entrance of a character on screen.
Jack's just landing, his ship is sinking.
I know, and
he just steps off onto the pier. It's so
epic,
good.
But it's smooth. It's
smooth as hell.
But at the time, because when the second one came out, there's a lot of hate for it now, but it grossed like $1 billion. Everyone loved it.
It's very successful.
But between the second one and the third one coming out, I went on a gap year, and I basically spent that entire time on the Stavros Esniarchos, which is a Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a brig, not a ship, sailing around the sailed across the Atlantic.
Hey, look at you!
And yeah, so we had a lot of the soundtrack blaring out through the on a tall ship, like sailing in huge waves, like over where the Titanic sank, and you've got like the Davy Jones soundtrack blaring out as you go along.
Wow.
It was epic.
It's such a great one, isn't it?
There are a few moments actually on that trip where I would look out the back of the ship like on watch and going, if I fell in here,
you're dead. You're finished.
It's not even worth, you'll be alive. You maybe got about half an hour, an hour.
Yeah, well, because it was that cold.
It was cold, and of course you're exposed, and you got 2 miles below you.
Well, I mean, you can swim.
And yeah, but where would you swim to? And there's currents there as well.
Yeah, the currents are the more frightening thing. But actually, it's the cold.
The cold. And you would not, like, even if you were spotted falling in,
You would be able to stop
it would be you would be lucky
to get it. Yeah, it's true.
but
Yeah,
yeah, so
if you fell overboard, you were doomed. Yeah.
it's
Wow.
I always say but
I'm very jealous. Very jealous. I did a bit of sailing, but nothing like that. More kind of hobby cat style stuff.
girly sailing we
Yeah,
call it.
thanks. Yeah, I like to think sports sailing. Great. So, I think we should start with Will.
Okay,
And who do you have for Will?
I
think you need to open with your classic line. It's,
Well, who is Will?
Who is Will?
Right, Will's Luke Skywalker, isn't he?
Yeah.
In many ways. No, he's kind of there is a
The
slight
dork
dark.
who goes on an adventure and turns out to have a lot of hidden potential.
There's a slight dark side to him though as well. He has got a slight.
Will's dark
Yeah,
side?
there's a slight. I know a lot of people don't know him, but there is a slight sort of trickery about him as well. But it's very subtle. It's nowhere near Jack's, but you could see that in him. He isn't just a clean cut character.
Yeah.
You need a very subtle, not huge. And I've gone for somebody who can play the sort of clean cut good guy, and at the same time has also shown that they can be a slightly. I've gone for Dan Stevens, who is Matthew Crawley in Downton Abbey.
Okay.
And he also,
interesting.
I think it's The Guest he plays as well, where he plays like a soldier. But he's great in that because he can play the sort of British. Oh, I'm charming but slightly slightly clumsy.
Yeah,
like at the beginning part, and then but he's got the potential to then
mature.
I just say slightly clumsy because I was thinking of holding the when you first see him, he knocks that thing off.
Yeah, and he's got that definitely. And hasn't he done some pirate work?
I don't know if he's done some pirate, but he's Beast in the new Beauty and the Beast, and he also went to my old school.
Oh, isn't he in Black Sails?
Dan Stevens, I don't think he is.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking Toby Stevens.
No, he's I said Matthew Crawley. He's most known for. He's Lancelot as well in the Night at the Museum.
Because Toby Stevens is also in Downton Abbey, and he's in Black Sails, and he looks much rougher. But Dan Stevens, I see. He's way more clean cut, but I think he could definitely mature into this war hardened.
Well, not even war hardened. Just I always love the bit in the second one where he basically tricks Davy Jones into revealing where the key is, and he sort of turns to his dad and sort of says, it was never about winning or losing. His dad's like, you just wanted to know where it was, and so he's I thought that there's that's what I mean by sort of trickery.
He does look like a bit of a sneaky bastard.
He's So that's what I've gone for. I've gone for Dan Stevens. Who have you?
Interesting. Okay, so did you know that do you know what Pirates of the Caribbean originally started off as a project before it was Pirates of the Caribbean? It was an adaptation of something. One of my favorite franchises of all time. Have you ever heard of Monkey Island?
Yeah.
Yeah? Pirates of the Caribbean was actually a movie adaptation of Monkey Island.
Really?
The Secret of Monkey Island. Yeah.
I did not know that.
And it was... it kind of went through many drafts and many iterations. And if you look at it, how many parallels does it draw with The Curse of Monkey Island? Well, with The Secret of Monkey Island.
Yeah.
Right? Zombie pirate. Ghost ship. The kid who wants to become a pirate. Right? Guybrush Threepwood. That is where Pirates of the Caribbean came from. And then Disney took it into they decided to do a tie-in with their Disney World ride, Pirates of the Caribbean, and it became Pirates of the Caribbean. But it was originally Secret of Monkey Island. And which means that Will's character was originally Guybrush Threepwood. So I thought, who would I cast as Guybrush Threepwood? And take Will's role in a complete different direction. I would cast a complete sort of bumbling idiot who is not confident in himself at all, hasn't got the athletic ability of Orlando Bloom. He's not a Will Turner, sword-wielding, swashbuckling cool guy. He's a clumsy, bumbling idiot. So have you seen Silicon Valley?
I have. I've seen the pilot.
Okay, so you know the main guy, Thomas Middleditch?
Yeah.
That awkward dude who's got curly hair. He is Guybrush Threepwood for me. He's this awkward guy. He has that all of the weird neuroticisms, everything about him, and I would want to see a different Will, not this kind of confident, epic, beautiful Orlando Bloom Will, but a clumsy, dorky Will who kind of falls into this by accident and ends up maturing into this cool guy later on.
Okay, I know the guy you mean. He's the guy that in Silicon Valley he's developed that.
He's
code.
the main guy.
Yeah.
Who comes up with Pied Piper, the algorithm and everything. And I think he, with a beard and with some curly hair, he looks relatively good looking. He's got this, blue eyes, and he could look dashing eventually. But I think he could definitely give us a different Will from one we've seen before.
Because Orlando Bloom basically went straight off the main production of Lord of the Rings straight onto Pirates, which was a major coup for him. He sort of became the Errol Flynn for a period.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. He was huge at that time. Then he just disappeared. He just did nothing really big after that. Big movies can kill your career sometimes.
Well, he did Troy in Kingdom of Heaven.
Yeah, but
he was great in Troy.
Already, Troy and Kingdom of Heaven was him starting to kind of dip. I mean, Troy was him. He wasn't really playing the lead. No, he was overshadowed by Brad Pitt, even Eric Bana. And then in Kingdom of Heaven, that movie just wasn't really, he just kind of fell under the radar.
Yeah, it really did. Poor Orlando Bloom.
Oh yeah, poor guy. Yeah, oh really, heart goes out to him. Damn. So.
Cool. Right. So, Thomas Middleditch versus Dan Stevens. I am feeling my guy more. I'm not gonna lie about it. I am.
We're gonna do paper scissors stone. Rock paper scissors.
Rock paper scissors. Actually, or should we call Olive?
Call Olive.
Let's call
Olive.
We
can do it one more time. This is the last time we try and call Olive.
Right. Okay. Let's call Olive. Last time we called Olive. Then
so just a bit of background to who Olive is. Olive was at the same university as us in Bournemouth, studying film as well, and she's working in casting, isn't she?
She's done loads
casting
of stuff,
directing.
Actually.
Casting director.
She's the casting guru, unlike us. Right, so we'll let her decide. She didn't answer last time. It's gonna become an ongoing thing, isn't it?
You should tag her in the episodes.
I did in the other one. She messaged me.
What did she say? Okay.
This bit will be cut. No. Cool. Right. Okay. So it's Thomas Middleditch and Dan Stevens. Let's rock paper scissors for it. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. I did it wrong. 1, 2, 3. Thomas Middleditch it is.
Thomas Middleditch. All right.
Right. Let's go on to
Elizabeth. Right. Shall I go first?
Yep, you go first with Elizabeth.
All right, Elizabeth. Do you know what? The one I've cast in many ways is actually very similar to Keira Knightley in many, many ways. And you know why? I don't know. I thought that role was good for her. I thought she was great in there. Yeah. And the thing is, she needs to be British, right? Because it's all about colonial Britain and the Caribbean and all the sort of East India Company, all that stuff. So she has to be this like truly British actress, and she has to be a fighter. She has to be awesome but feminine as well. And actually, the actress I picked, I think even looks like Keira Knightley a little bit. Daisy Ridley, Star Wars.
Oh, you've done a good choice. Oh, I like your choice.
It is very much though in the same direction as Keira Knightley. So I'm interested to see if you've gone with kind of a different direction.
I've gone a completely different direction.
That's interesting.
I've gone a completely different direction because I was sort of thinking. First of all, when you cast people, their nationality doesn't matter if they can play whatever nationality they're playing.
Sure.
If they can play whatever nationality they're playing. And so I've gone for someone who's quite a renowned actress. They're in quite a lot of things at the moment, a lot of TV things, who I feel would live in the Caribbean. And you would look at her and go, oh yeah, you're a governor's daughter, and they're sexy, so they can sort of play that part of her as well. But they've also got that slight element of class that brings it along. And I'm going to mispronounce her name as well. I've gone for Morena Baccarin.
Do you know what? That's Is that because you've seen Deadpool recently?
It is because I've seen Deadpool recently.
I actually thought of her for this role, and I chose not to go with her because of her darker complexion and because, you know, this is a British governor's daughter. She will have sailed from England, and at that time, a woman from London simply wouldn't have had her complexion. But that aside, I think she would be fantastic for the role. She's stunning. She's absolutely stunning, and I don't disagree because I also thought about putting her in the role, but I just think that the complexion
am with you
thing
for
is...
Daisy Ridley. Daisy Ridley is nail on the head for that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool. We'll go Daisy, but I also feel Marina Baccarin as well. You know, because Daisy Ridley for me is very similar to Keira Knightley in many ways. It's almost like casting a younger Keira Knightley. So let's just put Marina Baccarin and just forget the whole complexion thing. Some makeup, special effects can do something really lighter. Bleach her skin.
So we're going for.
We'll go Marina.
Oh, okay, cool. I do think because it does make it a little bit different as well from the.
Yeah, change. I don't want to do exactly the same casting. That's an interesting choice. Okay, cool.
That's why I find that with films that I really like, I love them so much. I'm basically trying to find someone that could play the most similar.
But you know what's interesting actually is that Morena as Elizabeth and Thomas Middleditch as Will, I think would be interesting because Morena is, you know, astoundingly beautiful, and Thomas Middleditch looks so dorky. It would be so funny to see them have like this almost hate relationship at the beginning, like her kind of dislike him at first. I hate how clumsy he is and how dorky he is, and then for him to slightly mature, and then for that to grow on her, and for that relationship to slowly flourish over the course of the movie, rather than her being totally Will Turner, my god, infatuated from the very beginning. You know, a bit more of a kind of
a modern relationship.
Yeah, a bit more of a play between them.
Because Keira Knightley always says she's a modern girl trapped in a 17th century world.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she only does period dramas now, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So sick of that crap. Anyway,
shall we go? Whilst we're on that subject, shall we go for Norrington, who of course is played. Sure. What's the guy's name who plays him originally? But he's in Smash. But he's sort of the who is he? Who is Norrington?
Norrington is the ultimate British commander of the British Army. You know, OBE, officer of the British Empire type gentleman.
Yeah.
Hot. Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, he's not the sort of the fat British bloke. He's sort of almost like the Livingston type bloke.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Right. I've had multiple names written down for this. Actually, I've had 3 different names written down for this. And I'm going to pick one of them. The ones that I wrote down, I basically chose the 3 British, very recognisable actors.
You probably got one of them, which are mine. So don't say all of them.
Right, okay. Fine, I'm going to go for the one that I haven't actually written down that I deleted. I'm going to go for Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, very nice.
Benedict Cumberbatch. He could play that role with his eyes closed.
He could.
And he could have fun with it as well. Make it super British. Eat it up for breakfast.
Definitely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And even he does get a bit of action in the second. I know I keep talking about the sequels. He gets a bit of action in the second
he does,
film. A bit of sword
does.
fighting. And he could also play, you know, the sort of the when he's all a bit dishevelled as well.
Yeah, I reckon Cumberbatch would bring a lot to that role which hasn't been seen before. And so the previous actor was Jack Davenport.
That's it. Jack Davenport is on the tip of my tongue. He's great, actually, that guy.
He's great in it, he is. But I think Benedict Cumberbatch would just take it that bit further. He would make it so British. I mean, Cumberbatch is the embodiment of, you know, officer of the British Empire.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. My cast was Tom Hiddleston.
That's who also I had as my number 2.
You must have. In many ways, it's a very obvious cast, but in another way, the role is very obvious to cast in itself. It's very easy to.
It's a stereotype.
It's such a stereotype character that
we love stereotypes.
We do, and it begs a sort of a typecast.
And those sorts of things work if in an ensemble. Like we were just chatting about Deadpool and Colossus in it. He's great. Why?
Yeah.
Because he's a gentle giant Russian stereotype.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
And-
No, it works, and I think Benedict Cumberbatch wins that one. I think if we're gonna go for this stereotype cliche character, you just gotta take it to level 9,000.
I had it at sort of 3 levels. I had Benedict Cumberbatch, Tom Hiddleston, and Daniel Radcliffe.
No.
Cool. I like that. Right, should we go for... Right, we got... Before we get to Jack...
Barbosa.
Let's go for the bad guys. Right.
Right.
Who have you got for Barbosa?
An actor who, in recent times, has shown real grit. I want this Barbosa to be even more vicious and even more terrifying and nasty to look at than Jeffrey Rush. I want Tom Hiddleston. What am I saying? Not Tom Hiddleston. Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Oh, that's a good shout.
I want Tom Hardy, just like heavy, brutish, dangerous pirate. I want Barbosa to be even more threatening. I felt like in parts he was great. Oh my god, what Jeffrey Rush did with the character was amazing. But Barbosa felt like almost like a slightly older pirate. As I feel Tom Hardy would be brutal. You feel threatened by him, that he could kill you and just destroy you with his own bare fist. He would come across as the strongest pirate on that ship versus just being the captain. He would be the captain and the most able pirate on that ship as well.
See, my take on Barbosa is different. I'm pleased with this because we've got a lot of differences.
Go for
right,
it.
See, what I love about Jeffrey Rush in that part, and what I love about the character of Barbosa, because Jeffrey Rush is unrecognisable. He's theatrical. He chews that scenery like you would not believe.
He does.
And even from simple things like the way he goes, agreed.
Yeah.
He is playing almost like a...
Apple.
Oh, it's great. It's a very fine line between being a pantomime
Yeah.
and being slightly fun. Because at the end of the day, Pirates of the Caribbean is quite a family film.
Absolutely.
I took my mum to go and see it. Like when it first came, I was like, "Mum, we're gonna go and watch this."
Yeah.
It's great like that.
Oh my god, it's a fantastic film. It's Disney. Yeah. Let's not forget.
So I've gone for someone who is more known for... Actually, they're pretty much only known for TV. And they are currently playing a sort of anti-hero, if you like, on TV, where they are absolutely chewing the scenery in that sort of way, where it's not pantomime, but it's a lot of fun. I've gone for Wentworth Miller, who you probably would know from Prison Break, who plays Michael Scofield, where he's all sultry.
Wow, you know what? I've not actually seen Prison Break. I know who Wentworth Miller is.
But he's in Legends of Tomorrow playing Captain Cold, and he is so...
Captain Cold being the big villain.
No, he's not a big. He's not a big villain. He's one of the legends in Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's one of the team. But he's like, I can't do it. He's like, I enjoy stealing, and it's every opportunity. He sort of walks past someone and he steals their wallet for no reason whatsoever, just because he can. And I think you get him in the hair, in the makeup, give him the beard. He can absolutely, again, not pantomime, but really sort of chew that scenery. And he could, yeah.
Do you not think he's too beautiful for this? He seems like a very good-looking man. I guess in makeup, you dirty him up.
I think you could dirty him up. You could dirty him up real good.
I feel because I think
it's different approaches. Because yours is much more, I would say.
But at
mine's
the same
more
time,
Waterworld. Yours is more Master and Commander.
Yeah. But actually, so thinking of that, I almost think so. I prefer your direction with the character, but I prefer my casting. So what I would almost want is to put Tom Hardy, but with your direction of doing a theatrical...
Are you asking me to direct the new Pirates of the Caribbean?
Ali, I'm asking you to direct the next Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah.
Off to the Caribbean we go.
Yeah. I would want to see Tom Hardy do what you've described for that role versus what I described.
I can see that. Tom Hardy could be argued as beautiful as well, but now you mentioned Tom Hardy, I'm thinking of an interview I saw with him not too long ago.
Beautiful. Have you seen him in The Revenant?
No, I haven't actually.
Oh my god!
I was thinking of his because he's done things like what's the McGee film he was in that he did?
McGee.
No. But I think Tom Hardy, he did an interview where he was asked about would you ever do any other DC stuff? And he was just sort of so cheeky and went, "Oh, you mean George Miller's going to be directing Man of Steel too?" Oh, you heard it here first. And almost like playing with the interviewer, and just and I could see him do that. Yeah, no, let's go for Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy, but we do it with the theatrical Barbosa.
So basically, Wentworth Miller's brain in Tom Hardy's body.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I'm seeing. Oh my god, when Tom Hardy plays Bronson.
Yeah.
A Bronson version of Barbosa.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's a good pull. That's a good pull.
All right. Okay, so Barbosa for Tom Hardy.
Yeah. Well, you've got Barbosa, and you got some of his little pirates as well. You've got Raggety and Pintel.
Raggety and Pintel. Right.
It's a little comedy duo.
Yeah, I've got a comedy duo.
Oh, have we got the same one? I've gone for Andy and Lou from Little Britain. David Walliams.
Oh, right. That would be really funny. I haven't gotten them. I've got Tenacious D. Jack Black and Carl Gass. Because I think they'd just go to town on it. It'd be hilarious. Jack Black doing his English accent.
Hello.
It'd be really, really hilarious to watch. Little Britain, also funny. I wonder if Little Britain's humour isn't child friendly.
It's your man from The Office, isn't it?
Yeah. I wonder if it's a little advanced.
Little Britain at one point, it was around the same time as Pirates of the Caribbean. It was huge, and you had kids everywhere quoting it. So
yeah, but they weren't supposed to watch that, were they?
Yeah, they weren't supposed to. But you see like a little kid in a supermarket go, no one.
Okay, I'm happy either way. I think I would piss myself for Jack Black. But the Little Britain guys are also. I think it would bring that British.
No, I know what we do. Right, we put Tenacious D as Raggety and Pintel, and then we put Little Britain as there's the other two British people as well, the ones that are guarding the boat.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, of course, they're perfect for that.
They were underplayed in that.
Yeah,
I thought they were funny a comedy.
They were.
Duo.
Yeah, those. Who was that? That was Martin. Oh my god! It was what's his name? Bilbo Baggins. Martin.
Was it? It wasn't.
No. Must have been.
Right. I'm going on the laptop. No, we said we wouldn't be doing this, but I'm going on the laptop to look that up because that can't. Was that Martin Freeman?
Yeah, it was definitely Martin Freeman and another actor. Wow, he's come a long way since then.
No, because it was in the office. It was the other bloke in the office. Right.
Definitely Martin Freeman is one of the two. As one of the two pirates.
Because they also then appeared in the third one where they sort of pretend to be pirates as well.
Definitely. All right, we're gonna cut this, aren't we? We'll cut this bit now.
Cut for a bit here. Why is it not loading? It was.
Why is it so hard?
No, it was Angus Barnett and Giles New.
All right. Okay.
Cool.
Cut that whole section. All right.
So why don't we put as the Little Britain people? Do you remember the other two English? The guys guarding the ship.
Absolutely.
Genius. I can't remember what they're called. Mugtog and Mulroy. That's them.
Do it. I think that's brilliant.
Brilliant. Cool. Right. So that's the villains apart done. There's one more villain we've got to cast. Davy Jones. Do you know when they did Davy Jones? They actually had Bill. They had the makeup.
Bill Nye. Yeah. Yeah, they did that.
So because they weren't sure that they were able to do the eyes, and then they did it full on CGI. That was
pretty good CG.
That was especially at the time.
Those tentacles were pretty credible. Yeah, disgusting looking.
And it looked solid as well. Well, no, it didn't. It looked translucent because it was.
Yeah.
But it looked real.
Exactly.
That was
very good. Yeah, I was really impressed by that. Who do you have?
Who do I have? I was umming and erring between two of them, and I'm going for Kenneth Branagh.
I like it. Theatrical.
British
Shakespearean actor. Very nice. I've gone for something as more of an homage to a movie that obviously this was inspired by, Cutthroat Island.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to Frank Langella. Who played obviously what was his name? Dog, was it? Yeah, Dog, the evil pirate in Cutthroat Island. Starring Gina Davis.
I haven't seen Cutthroat Island for
What?
years.
It's amazing. It's fantastic.
Okay, I know the guy you mean.
Get Frank Langella in his age today, so much older now, but put some good makeup on him and really just let him go to town on it. I always thought Davy Jones was a bit weird. He performed. I wasn't quite sure if he was threatening or clumsy. I wasn't too sure. Whereas I think Langella could really make him just really.
I think he's sort of clumsy, but because he doesn't care, like, as opposed to.
Yeah, maybe. But I was always weirded out by Bill Nye's performance with that. I was just like, what? I couldn't really put my finger on Davy Jones's pulse.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
And there were one or two lines I was like, what the hell did he just say?
Yeah, yeah.
I was like,
yeah. So,
great music around that part there with Davy Jones as well.
The organs.
And then when he's playing with the tentacles.
So good, so good.
I'll tell you, probably my top 10 trailers of all time. That final trailer for the third Pirates of the Caribbean film, where you had the ship and that
The Maelstrom.
shot, where it was Davy Jones sword fighting on the top bit.
Oh yeah,
That was great.
classic stuff.
That was great. The final film, I was disappointed by. I
Very
enjoyed
much
parts.
so.
It could have been so good. The Singapore stuff was great.
But even the second movie needed to have its own end. It needed to end with the end of Davy Jones. That I wanted that to be its own arc.
Yeah.
I wanted the first one was Barbosa and his parts and the arc. The next one, Davy Jones, and then the third one could have been bring Blackbeard or whatever. But it just felt like the first movie was its own enclosed movie. It had its own arc. The second one
about
just
the fourth one.
Yeah, there is no fourth one. Then the second just kind of ended halfway, and it's just annoying. I just wanted it to have a proper
They were
arc.
Star Warsing it because.
But even at the end of Empire, there's like a satisfying bookend. You know,
They could have the fact that Jack got eaten by the Kraken and ends up on a beach, not explained. They should have literally
ends
just
up
had
in limbo. Some random.
that was
random.
They should have literally just had the Kraken like literally grab him and swim off and give him to Davy Jones.
Yeah, it was.
But then there were bits in the third one, like the Singapore stuff was cool. I thought that worked really well.
Yeah.
The Asian flavour, and then the end battle, ships in a maelstrom, fantastic. But you had this great speech of how we're going together, and then you got these. We needed a ship battle. You needed to send all those ships in, and all the East. They should have all gone in at the same time.
The pirate war armies.
And they build up to that, and they go, "Oh, let's just send out one ship." And they had so much money for it. It felt as if they'd run out of. But that would have been.
Was
so
it Jack
epic.
Sparrow's dad as well? Was he one of the king of pirates or something like that? Some fucking.
He was just chilling with the horde of pirates.
What's the name of the actor? The musician. Keith Richards.
Keith Richards.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing.
That was a thing. And old, you had what the whole Calypso thing, which
so random. That whole thing with the crabs and all.
turned into the and then they managed to free her because they got all the pirate lords together. And what did she do? She created a
tries to kill everyone. It doesn't make any
whirlpool.
sense.
It was all over the place. But there were bits of it that the soundtrack was on point.
Yeah, very good.
The acting, I'd say.
The music at the beginning as well, very haunting.
Oh yeah.
Where the kid gets hung.
Oh.
And then they're singing that pirate song.
I mean, the character, all the acting, I thought was on par.
Yeah,
it was
really
great.
good.
It was just
Everyone was
cool. Anyway, Davy Jones, I got the impression was supposed to be the Darth Vader. So I feel at the end he could have turned. I was expecting him to sort of stab that short little bloke in the face.
Yeah, and even that
Tom
short little
Holland's
bloke
character.
just didn't really do it for me as a villain. He just a bit.
Yeah, he was supposed to be sort of like the
meh.
Emperor star.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was. But there were some good bits in it. Very cool. Right, so who are we going for Davy Jones?
I like Kenneth Branagh. Very, very bring some weight to it. I wonder if
You can hear what he's saying.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, Kenneth Branagh.
Well, there we go. So
Right.
that's who we have. So we recap. Oh no.
We're forgetting
Hey,
who?
hey.
Who we're forgetting? Who is
Who is
Captain Jack
Who is
Sparrow?
he?
Who is Captain Jack?
Captain Jack. Captain Jack.
Well, he doesn't even know who he is, does he?
That's the point. He's lost. Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
I'm generally stuck between two people. You got someone who at the time it was I don't want to see that. It's a chick flick, Pirates of the Caribbean. It's got Orlando Bloom and Johnny Depp in it. But I remember people saying that to me back in 2003. But he brought so much to that role.
But you know what? Jack Jack Sparrow is also the role that ended the Johnny Depp we know of his today.
Yeah.
It made and broke him, because everything that JD has done since is a version of Captain Jack.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's how I see it. When I see him perform, I always see the drunk, bubbling fool.
And even interviews now, his interview, he almost sounds like...
Exactly. It just... And other than say Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but he's only ever doing these kind of like caricature kind of roles. And
God, it put him on the map.
Absolutely. He blew up after that. Johnny Depp was huge.
The studio didn't want him. They said, "Oh, what's he doing? He's ruining the movie." That was one of the execs said about him. I've got two people written down. One of the people written down is someone they actually considered, and they offered him the role, and he turned it down.
Oh.
And he said it was stupid to turn it down. He then went and had a similar role, which was really well praised in a film that flopped. But that which was a time travelled Robert De Niro, who of course was then in Stardust, playing a similar type character.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Except Jack Sparrow isn't gay.
But I think that's the wrong. With hindsight, I think that's the wrong choice.
De Niro.
I'm
it's interesting, but yeah.
I'm trying to think of someone who almost needs to could be put on the map and be massive. You know, he's had a few good sort of hits. You want someone with a few good hits.
That's the way I'm thinking about it.
Put on the map and could be massive.
Well,
you want someone as well who could slightly get lost in the role a little bit.
Absolutely.
And could be sort of seen as a little bit mental, but could also be...
Do something crazy with it.
Do something crazy and be charming.
Yeah.
So I've gone for Shia LaBeouf.
For real?
Yeah. I know it seems like I'm taking the mick because I'm weirdly obsessed with him.
Do it!
Oh, he was in an elevator the other day.
You saw him in the elevator?
No, I didn't go and see him. We should have gone and seen him. I'm gonna whatever his next thing is, I'm gonna get involved in one way or another. But I mean it seriously. I genuinely think Shia LaBeouf could be quite good in the role.
I want to delve into this obsession you have with Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, you probably watched that video, that song about him.
Oh yeah, that's great.
From the bush, it's Shia LaBeouf. But very interesting.
For those reasons, that's why I think he'd be quite good.
Yeah, I think he would give it everything. I just wonder if he would be able to bring anything likable to the character. Anyway, I was thinking along similar lines. I was thinking, I want an unknown person, relatively unknown person, who I think is crazy enough and talented enough to do something absolutely wild with this character. Not you, Ali, no. And really, who has he has so much talent that you can do pretty much anything. But also someone who's just like a bit of a loony. And there's this one person, he's done a TED talk. It's quite a famous TED talk where he does a crazy beatbox type soundscape thing. His name is Reggie Watts.
Okay.
This big black guy, huge afro. He's quite chubby as well, but he is crazy. And he is crazy talented. He can do every accent in every language and come out with the most insane sounds and beatbox sounds and sound effects. I think he would bring this totally weird mix of things to Captain Jack Sparrow and make Jack this almost like, I imagine this new version of Jack Sparrow by Reggie Watts, this kind of guy who's actually lost his mind a bit, who just does a lot of sound effects and speaks in different accents to people. He could he could just go up to one person and speak in one way, and he speaks to another person another way, and it's like a guy who you have no bearing on whatsoever, just a complete loony. And only people who get really close to him understand why. And then you can delve into the characters to, why Jack is like that and what made him like that, and get deep
Too
under
much
his
sun,
skin.
dehydration,
all that rum.
Because in the first one, you're not quite sure whose side Jack is on, and he's so unpredictable.
He is. And watch, honestly, if you haven't seen it, watch Reggie Watts TED Talk. It'll blow your mind. It's insane.
I did not know who this guy is, and I did have to go through lots of pictures of Reggie Yates till I found this guy.
But Reggie Watts, and you know what? Some non-white representation as well.
Yeah,
it's a pretty white-heavy movie at the moment.
it is. I would say though, I would say Captain Jack, possibly Will Turner, definitely Rigetti and Pintel, definitely Davy Jones are all. I think Will Turner and Norrington sort of have to be white British.
They do purely because of their. But you know, like Reggie Watts could also play like he could almost be from the Caribbean himself.
Yeah,
it could be like genuinely a pirate of the Caribbean. You know, I think he would bring something truly original to the role. I
think you've got me there when you said to bring something truly original to the role, because that is what Johnny Depp did with
exactly.
He brought something new that we hadn't seen that sort of character before, and in that spirit, I think that's quite apt. I think that is quite.
And I
apt.
think he's worth giving a shot. He's not done anything big like this before, but I reckon he would nail it. He would absolutely nail it.
Yeah. By the way, what would your thoughts be on De Niro playing?
I really liked that idea. But you know, I think I'll be honest with you. I think De Niro is a little limited in his range.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he would be able to give Jack Sparrow the charm, maybe the charm, but the weirdness it needs. I don't think he could do something original enough. I really, if we ever had to see Jack Sparrow again, it would have to be something so radically different, but nuts, just as nuts.
We're going to talk about the elephant in the room before on Stranger Tides.
Stranger Tides.
That's the fourth film, mate.
Oh.
I think that sums it up.
That sums it up.
Good elements in there. I like the mermaids were quite cool.
I just liked what's his name, the actor for Blackbeard.
Ian McShane. He was pretty cool.
I like him, but beyond that,
plot needed to be sorted out, put together.
Penelope Cruz pissed me off. She didn't belong in that movie.
They're making a fifth one at the moment. I'm open, because if it recaptures the magic of the first one, I'm so on board with it.
Oof, you know it won't.
I know it won't, but I'm an optimist. I'm hoping that it will. Similarly, my only sort of thoughts on the fourth one is me and Will Loughlin. Actually, no, Will didn't turn up in the end. We we tried to sneak on set because it was being shot down the road, which was cool. Right, so that is our cast for.
Should we summarise?
Quick summary. So for Will Turner, we've got
Thomas Middleditch from Silicon Valley, playing a kind of Guybrush Threepwood from Monkey Island style Will, clumsy.
We've then got Elizabeth Swan, actually. Yeah, she starts
Swan,
off with Swan. Yeah. Who is what we're going from Morena
Baccarin, yeah, beautiful. I think she would play a tougher Elizabeth, and also not be so warm to Will at the beginning. Kind of play a kind of dislike him a bit. He's too clumsy. Yeah. He's not cool enough, and then kind of that rubs off on her, and he saves her, despite all his ineptitudes, and then that kind of she warms up to him. And
then for Norrington, we've got Benedict Cumberbatch. That's such an obvious choice, though.
But it has to be, because Norrington's such an obvious character.
For Davy Jones, Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah, love that.
For Barbosa,
Tom Hardy doing a theatrical version
with Wentworth Miller directing him. And for Rigetti and Pintel.
Tenacious D, Jack Black and Kyle Gass.
Then for the other two
officers,
officers who sort of get their comedy chops, we got Little Britain. And then for Captain Jack
Sparrow,
we've got Reggie Watts.
Watch his TED Talk. Honestly, watch his TED Talk.
That's a good solid cast. That's a good solid cast.
I think this will be a fun movie.
Yeah, no, I'm on board with that. I hope the fifth one is good.
It won't be. They've killed that. If Captain Jack Sparrow's in it, and they're trying to recreate the first movie, they just won't ever do it. They just can't.
Isn't the fifth one where everything starts getting good again? If you look at X-Men, you have X-Men 5 is X-Men First Class, which was pretty good.
But it wasn't really
Fast and Furious.
But only because they were able to completely go tabula rasa, blank slate. They were able to go James McAvoy, recast everyone, entirely new storyline, plotline. If they did new Pirates, it would have to be a completely new set of characters, new storyline entirely. If they are set to try and fit a new story with Captain Jack Sparrow, it's going to be a rehash of the old stuff, and they'll never be able to bottle the same magic they had in the first one.
I do feel they should have taken an Indiana Jones approach, where it's...
What, older?
Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one.
It's not been that long, though, since Pirates.
That's 2000.
It's like 10 years later.
No, but for
Jack Sparrow's only mildly older, a few grey hairs.
But for the sequels, they should have gone, rather than trying to do like a Star Wars and make like an ongoing mythology, each one should have been self-contained, and have the only constant is Johnny Depp as Captain Jack.
Well, they've kind of tried to do that with On Stranger Tides.
They did, but it was too little too late. Too little too late.
I think Captain Jack Sparrow needs to leave that franchise now. I think he needs to leave because he was such a good thing. Too much of a good thing is a bad thing, and I think they squeezed everything they can out of Captain Jack.
But there we are.
There we go.
Anyway,
but
Johnny Depp.
Who are we going to cast for the Kraken?
Sarah Jessica Parker. Who are you thinking of?
You know what? That's perfect. That's perfect. That's it. I agree, 100%.
Cool, but she wouldn't be as good as... There's people out there...
Nobody really...
I mean...
play any of these roles as well as Andy Serkis in a motion capture
Andy Serkis in a motion capture suit could play the ultimate...
He could
Kraken.
play all of them. He could be the Kraken. He could be Jack being eaten by the Kraken. He could be the
Elizabeth
boat
Swan.
that the Kraken and Jack Black or Jack
You get him in the right motion capture suit, he could play the sea.
He would do the most wavy waves you've ever seen.
So all of our answers really are wrong, because
bullshit,
the correct answer is...
Yeah, it's Andy Serkis in a motion capture suit.
Brilliant, cool. Well, that's the show.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you again to Ross Jones for writing in and requesting this. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Ciao, ciao.